authority audit, that is how they did. Plan, schedule, yes. Plan, unschedule, unplanned, unschedule. So those are another way of it. But for us, for you, up to you how you going to handle it. But for that is how authority doing it. For you, small organization, maybe plan, schedule, because you have to submit the audit plan to the authority. If you have unplanned, unscheduled, there's no evidence you're doing the audit. So at least for you as organization, you must have the plan, schedule, because you have to have a year plan of audits and associated with the reports. So obviously you must have plan and schedule audit. But you may have do unscheduled, unplanned. Those report to be just another independent report. So on top of the plan and schedule audit. So contact the person, tell him or her about you are coming to audit, and you also have to explain the scope, the objective, criteria. The audit. That is a formal audit. Then because the next one is then collect document and review. If you need to see document, for example the exposition, you ask for exposition. And if you are auditing, you are the quality of an organization, you auditing process or process or procedural, then you get the process and procedure, you read, understand them first. Read and review those documents. Do not want to go there and haphazardly asking a question not relevant to it, and then we can start the argument, and then we do not pick up the real issue. So first you must understand the process. If you are auditing the process, because I believe you are in the same organization, you are auditing a process, you are auditing the work done by the maintenance person. So you need to get the SOP, you need to get the process first, read them through, understand them, then you look at first, after you read them through, understand them, and then try to find where are the area of concern, which are the most important area. If you are auditing this repeatedly, I mean this is another audit of the few years you've been doing the audit, you may go back to the history of car being raised, try to look at what is the area of risk, which area has more problem, and then you focus with the area. Then you become very objective in trying to look for the problem. And basically, if we work for an organization, we audit the organization because you need to come up with the improvement, not just to find fault. Then that is not an objective audit. Then audit plan, the plan to the area which is a concern, and prepare checklist. Here is what is been listed here, which we have learned yesterday. So this could be the checklist. So from here you can develop the checklist. What will be what you want to look at the facility, what you want to look at for the personnel, for the certified staff, and the rest. So for us, for you, there are several checklists being available. You can Google them, or you read the requirement, pick out the important point as a key point for you to review or to audit. Facility, for example, first thing we have learned yesterday, enough space for the work. Okay, free from contamination. So those could be items you put in the checklist. Then opening meeting. Then you go. When the audit day come, you go and open. You have a meeting. You have to do the briefing. A formal audit, you cannot just go there and then just bring the checklist and just stay on the board. No. You have to sit down with the team. Even though it's small organization, you sit down with another colleague, explain to him about the objective, explain to him about the scope, the criteria, the method, and also request for someone to accompany you, or someone you may also request someone that you want to observe or someone you want to interview. You also asking them during the meeting the further document, or at the meeting after you review the document, you try to ask for more clarification, and then you go through the audit plan together and then see whether there are any problem, any itinerary. For example, the day 3 you do the briefing, or they may say, oh, day 3 our CEO is not with us, they are overseas, and then you have to discuss when is the best time. So maybe you have to change your itinerary, and then you go through the checklist during opening meeting. Go through checklist and try to explain what exactly you're looking for. You must be very clear on the objective, scope, criteria, because we want to have the answer to your question. Because we want to look at first, the audit is looking at the system. We want to exactly understand how the system works, whether there are any inefficiency of the system. Because you come to note out to take a note the system inefficiency, and later you raise a call for them to correct the situation for the system to be efficient. So that is basically the purpose of the audit. So you perform the audit. To perform the audit, there are something that you need to be careful. When you perform the audit, you're dealing with human. You talk to another human, especially for the interactive. So the thing that you need to be, you as auditor, okay, as auditor you need to be a person with high EQ, emotional intelligence. We always talk about IQ, but auditor should be high IQ, EQ, emotional intelligence, because you need to get as much information as you can from the auditee, and the auditee will have to feel comfortable with you, rather than thinking you are just a police, or you just someone trying to find fault, or someone trying to blame them. So you have to have the attitude of courtesy. Your approach should be more on human to human approach. You must listen properly. Here's the criteria I'm looking for. Criteria as auditor. There's a list of it. So first, you must be behaving accordingly. You are not a police. You're not finding fault. You are just another person trying to solve their problem, rather than blaming them. Okay, first. And then we ask question, you must ask question clearly. Okay, clear. So first we must think, we are human, and we are talking to another human. So we have to have high EQ, emotional intelligence. So your approach must be, you have to be courteous. Good feeling, okay? No blame. You're not blaming them. No finding fault. Do not downgrade. Not to look down on them. So this is the thing you need to be careful. Why you need to be careful? Because you need to get as much information as you can from them. So the best auditor is the auditee willing to explain, tell the story, tell the detail what they have been doing. Okay? It was my personal experience. And we've been auditing, myself and a friend, auditing a company in Singapore. And we just do audit, normal audit. We just be nice, you're not showing us as authority. Just try to be friendly. Nothing wrong to be friendly with the auditee. Try to be friendly, then they feel comfortable. They appreciate us because we are coming. They have the feeling that we are trying to help them, not trying to find fault. Try to find their problem. We try to solve the problem by highlighting the problem from our point of view. Then they bring us to dinner at night. The CEO came, and the CEO said, "Oh, we also assemble seats for your airline, but your scope is only for MRO. But you also, we also assemble seats." Then we start, okay, fine, no problem. We just keep, we don't argue about it. And then the next morning we went back to the factory. He said, I heard you also assemble seat. So can you show us the place where you assemble the seat? Then they happily brought us to the place where they assemble the seat. Then, so this is another thing. Because they are only approved to do MRO, but now they assemble seats. Okay? So the rest is the story of non-compliant, because they assemble seat, they have seat, it should be signed off by the OEM, but they're not. So this is just another major non-compliant. Okay, fine. But what I'm trying to say is our behavior in the day, the morning, we're very courteous, and we are try to be friendly, and we are try to help them. Basically, lead into a major non-compliant. So that is how the auditor should behave. Behave as a human, trying to be nice. Not try to be nice, not to try to blame, not to try to find fault, not to look down on them. You just another QC technician. I'm a manager, so you just listen to me, and the way you're asking question also very rough. So that is behavior that you must avoid. Secondly, be a good listener. When you ask question, you ask again, do you understand the question? Say, okay, if you don't understand, you repeat again the questions. Repeat until he understand. When he or she explain to you, you try to repeat. If you do not understand it, try to repeat. It means that you have said that you say this, you heat this part into 70 degrees Celsius. Is it correct? So that you have to ask back the question. You have to clarify, not just to take it as it. You must be a good listener, and when they are talking, you're not talking. You just listen. Okay. So it's another behavior of auditor. So that's performing audit. Okay, audit again. Audit, you have the checklist. When you have the checklist, you must go to the checklist. Don't miss the checklist, because after you come back, you miss a lot of things. So if you have the checklist, which you have properly planned, okay, you have the checklist. Okay. Follow strictly, because that was developed earlier and also has been agreed by auditee during the opening meeting. So follow the checklist. If you need to modify something, could not modify, but the checklist must be followed. And checklist must, the content or item of the checklist must be looked at on the basis why the requirement to be there, not just on the face value again. And also you have to go and ask first thing when you go into the area. Okay? And this is just a tip, few tips for doing audit. My own personal experience. Okay, first when you perform the audit, you must The best what I did, normally I ask questions to explain who they are, the person that you see, who are they? Okay. Then you ask why they are there. And then you ask, what is that area for? As a starting, you ask, please explain who are you in the organization? So he must able to answer who he is, and he should also show the exposition and his term of reference in the exposition. So if they just say, oh, I'm here assembly technician, okay, say, okay, where are you in the exposition of your position, assembly technician? So a lot of question by asking this, by just trying to explain who they are, a lot more question. First, we can probe whether he understand the exposition. So you ask him whether he are able to find himself in his position. If not, there's a problem, big problem, because he is not trained. He was not. There's no briefing. There's no training on exposition for him. They can probe further by looking at the personal file whether there is any evidence of the training on the exposition, because this guy unable to find himself in the exposition. Also, by asking him, say, who are you? I'm the assembly technician. You also can ask, do you have a personal file, access to personal file, and can you show me your competency? So that's why most of the organization, they have competency card given to the personnel, and the personnel carry the card around. If any audit comes, then they just show the card. I'm assembly technician, grade what, and what is your scope of activity. So if you don't have that, if they cannot explain themselves, if they cannot explain their competency, they also another findings. He just know he is just assembly technician, but he doesn't know his scope of work and scope of capability. So that is also another finding. So by just asking to explain who are the person you met in that facility, for example, you go to the shop, you just ask him who are you. By asking the question who are you, you can lead to the MOE compliant, you can lead to the personnel competency, and you can lead into the organization chart. So they just ask one question. So that's why you have to ask question properly. Just not looking at the checklist word for word and try to answer the words. You have to have some. That's why earlier I mentioned about the whole system. Because when you go to the area, you need to look at this as one interrelation of this. For example, when you see the personnel, you try to look at their in terms of certified staff. In terms of in-service difficulty also, you are able to get from this person that you met. Okay. So first question, why they are there? That should be in the MOE. Okay. Their competency. Third question. Okay, now next, that is a person, we make person. Then you ask the workshop. If you go for the workshop, you ask them the capability, what the workshop can do. Ask to explain. about the workshop or the area where you met the person. And then you can relate to the MOE. First, where in the MOE? The shop. Is it stated there? Is it in the layout of the MOE? And then what equipment need to be in the shop? So you can relate further looking at equipment, and then from this you can basically track the equipment availability, and serviceability. So you can relate back to the requirement earlier, of this what is it? Okay, equipment, tool, and material. So that is how to perform audit. What are the tips? The tips is the document. So you can ask, when you look at the perform audit, you ask, you do the work, how you do the work, what checklist, what worksheet that you use. Then you audit the worksheet, whether who approved the worksheet, do they have any master leaf of the worksheet, are those worksheets are current. You also can audit the worksheet itself, whether the worksheet was transcribed properly from the manual, or there are some deviation from the worksheet which is not acceptable. So from there you can go and relate many things. Then after worksheet, the equipment, serviceability, unserviceability, what equipment to be used, the material to be used. So those are things that you need to see during audit, to look at audit. Even though there are checklists, but you have to ask beyond that, for you to have the better understanding of the process of any possible non-compliant. Then after you, first thing that you need to do is everything that you do, you write. So I always go around with Sirim, and they have the practice that they have audit sheet. Everything they write, any conversation they write, any document they see, any data that they found, they write. Because later on you read through for you to evaluate your audit, and then you make determination of any compliant or non-compliant. So that's how you perform audit. So audit is more on your skill experience. You have to have experience, and then you will develop a good skill